All right. So, let's start. Let's say now that in front of you you have 5 books, 5 different language books that are showing exactly the same, or they're trying to show the same grammar rule, which are verb types in Finnish. In this case, could you please tell me which of these would seem more clear to you? That means how the rule is observed. How are they trying to teach it to you? And which would be probably appealing?
I studied with this book. This was my first book. And I think for me this was good for a start, because it has really specific drawings that evoke different activities, and they're really clear and easy to remember or to learn. Also, it's really good typography because it's not so small. So it's like you learn maybe very basic things, but very, very well.
Okay.
So that you can start to talk Finnish or to understand Finnish. And these, I didn't study with this book, but I remember I had copies, and this has really good, this was what I remember. This has really good verb lists, or something was here. But this is not, there's not so many kind of photos. It's more like very, very, very much reading. Instead of these, you can learn it by the photos. And for example, this is, I was looking at it. This is verb type 4, and this is verb type 3. Let's say, but let's say the number. Let's say 3. This is 4 and 5. So these could get confusing. So no, but I remember that. So here you just learn them probably by memory, but here you know what it really means, or just that.
Okay, so you're saying that the relationship between the, could it be these? And no.
Yeah, what I like is that.
Oh yeah, it's here.
Yeah, first you learn, you see them, then you memorize them, and then it's interesting because then you have to make an exercise with these. So it's very concrete exercise about verbs.
Okay.
Yeah. This book I've never seen. I just saw it now, but I think it's quite modern somehow. But let's see, where is this verb to be? For example,
why would you say it's modern?
Well, it looks more like the photos, and this is more black and white. It doesn't matter really, the photos, but maybe it has very concrete lectures.
Okay.
Let's see. I try to see if there's the verb to be. It is probably so that there's not even here verb to be actually.
I think yes, most probably at the beginning, but I couldn't. I didn't really try that much to find it.
Okay, so. Yeah. Maybe it is. But here you have all the answers.
Yeah, that's
of
true.
all the exercises, and I remember here you had to check with the teacher always, and it was okay. But here you have all the answers. This is more handy.
Okay.
Yeah, to study. And also what I remember is that it really this book, the one that I studied, it really represents very kind of basic activities of human being. But then at the end, what I really liked about this book was that you had all the verbs.
Okay.
All the vocabulary.
Okay.
Yeah. And I remember I did everything in English and then I did everything in Spanish. So for me it was easier that okay, this means this and this means that. This was a long. This is a long list.
Okay.
So for me it was that if you knew this vocabulary,
it was good.
It was like you can understand something.
Okay.
This I've never seen, but it doesn't look very. It's okay, very to P1, but here it's more like this is very very
synthesized.
Synthesized, yeah. It's but here you have a better representation for my point of view.
Okay.
And what is here is really good is that you have the colors, because this is something that you really have to learn. This where you have
the endings.
The endings, yes. I think this is really important. And then when you have double letters, so that you really concentrate what happened here, and this is really interesting because if you write all in the same color, you don't have this understanding.
Okay.
Or you have to memorize really this. So I like that this is in color and this is not in color, for example.
Okay.
But I remember that here there was this. All the verbs has photos.
Yeah.
And what I remember that this is really interesting because there was this one was really interesting because it's activities you can do in Finland like fishing, whatever there was.
So you're saying like sauna?
Sauna, yeah, like
they're very local.
They're really local, and that was really interesting for me to see. Also the transportation. This was really interesting. That for me, these drawings help me to understand these missä mistä mihin.
Okay. The
But
directions.
here you don't have colors, for example. So, but even though this book is good because it has it in a little bit bold letters, so you have to pay attention to this. But this is really interesting, and I think very handy the way you are going there, or you're coming from there, or you are there. So it's really really good. The drawings, and then here also very interesting because it represents where you are, where you came from, but it's really concrete about
Locations.
You're talking about locations, but it's really like it also the drawings it's really like the kioski and really like the cinema and like all these things.
Very schematic. Okay.
And this is also to learn the everyday vocabulary, what you need, really it's really important.
Okay.
So here you have them all, and it's just memorizing them, just studying them.
Okay. So,
but this course, I remember that it was everything is fun until you get it probably starts to get more difficult. But anyway.
Until you have to speak. Okay, so I kind of get the idea of what you consider them to be as clear, but could you give me like 3 adjectives that could describe this idea of clarity? You gave me one: synthetic, concrete. Do you think you can give me 1 or even 2? What would be clarity for you?
Well, in graphic design, I would do something that this is a little bit like I like the idea. I like how it's organized and everything. It's really well done, but maybe a little bit by lectures or you know, you have this exercise and something to do with this exercise, because then you turn it around and there's no other exercise.
Okay.
Like making maybe some kind of 2 or 3 examples of exercise of this lecture or just about this page, for example. Because you're turning out to very different things, and it's like to learn first these and something related to these, so it's clear and you can practice it more.
Okay.
But at the beginning, you have to learn so many new words that it starts to get a little bit complicated.
Yeah.
To my point of view, but if you maybe, I remember in the lectures you had to make some kind of exercise or practice, but I don't remember now what were they, but not in the